Former SEIU official reveals plan to destroy J.P. Morgan Chase, crash the stock market, and redistribute wealth in America. A former official, SEIU, has this secret plan to destabilize the country. The plan is designed to destroy J.P. Morgan first, to nuke the stock market, and weaken Wall Street's grip on power, thus creating the conditions necessary for a redistribution of wealth and a change in government. Stephen Lerner is the guy, the former SEIU official, and he spoke in a closed session at a Pace University forum last weekend. A website, The Blaze, procured what appeared to be a tape of his remarks. Many Americans will undoubtedly sympathize with and support them, says the British business insider Henry Blodgett's blog here. But the destabilization plan is startling in its specificity, especially coming so close on the heels of the financial crisis. Stephen Lerner said that unions and community organizations are, for all intents and purposes, dead. The only way to achieve their goals, therefore, the redistribution of wealth, the destruction of capitalism, and the return of $17 trillion stolen from the middle class by Wall Street, is to destabilize the country. So this is a derivative, if you will, of Cloward Piven. Lerner's plan is to organize a mass coordinated strike on mortgage, student loan, and local government debt payments, thus bringing the banks to the edge of insolvency and forcing them to renegotiate the terms of the loans. This destabilization and turmoil, Lerner hopes, will also crash the stock market, isolating the banking class and allowing for a transfer of power. Lerner's plan starts by attacking J.P. Morgan Chase in early May, with demonstrations on Wall Street, protests at the annual shareholder meeting, and then calls for a coordinated mortgage strike. As I have delved into this, what I think is bugging this guy, in a short, condensed version, is the belief that debt, forced debt upon middle-class people, students, i.e. student loans and so forth, has made Wall Street bankers and financial people excessively, unfairly, out of proportionate rich in the process, by causing things that a normal person would want, college education, whatever, to be priced so high that you can only acquire them with a loan taken out by people who are raping you and stealing you blind with interest and so forth, that you basically have had these people in Wall Street basically stealing money from the middle class by dangling carrots. And, oh, you want a college education? Oh, you want a house? Oh, you want a car? Oh, you want... Well, fine. Here's the money, but you are going to pay... You're going to go into so much debt, and we're going to be the beneficiaries of the debt, and we're going to get rich, and we're going to take everything you've got, and your debt's going to be so high you never have a chance to get rich. And this guy is pure 100% anti-capitalist, and what he wants is what Cloward Piven has basically said: just overwhelm the system. It's sort of a derivative of Cloward Piven. You just overwhelm the system with so many dependents and so much middle class benefits having to be paid that the money isn't there, causes a system-wide collapse. Capitalism implodes upon itself, and somebody comes into the breach and restructures the government as a socialist utopian paradise. And the guy's dead serious about it. And he thinks, now when he says that unions and so forth are dead, he's talking about clout. He's talking about power. But community organizations, the Acorn types, these are the groups that can successfully organize a strike. A strike meaning people just stop paying back on their loans. Just stop. Even if they take away your education, if they stop you from going to college, they don't let you go to class, just stop paying them and they'll go broke. Stop paying them and they'll shut down. Stop paying them and there will be a crash. Stop paying them and their worth plummets. Their value goes to zero. Just stop paying these people who have basically imprisoned you by virtue of debt. And of course, he won't stop with Wall Street. I mean, the plan doesn't stop with Wall Street. It's just anybody or any particular business or area of business with concentrated wealth. Now, they have tried this before. Lerner's strategy is, how do we bring down the stock market? How do we bring down their bonuses? How do we interfere with their ability to be rich? This is what his objective is. And he believes that Wall Street's wealth has been stolen. This is a guy who believes, for example, that Reaganomics or trickle-down economics means the rich got rich by stealing from the poor, or stealing from the middle class and making them poor via debt. He has worked with unions in Europe. Look at the riots they're having there. This guy is a pure anti-capitalist. He despises America. He is on a personal crusade. I have no idea what kind of success he's going to have in May with these efforts that he's undertaking. But you can look at Europe, and he has been involved with unions there. Now, he was thrown out of the SEIU last November, reportedly for spending millions of the union's dollars trying to pursue a plan like this one. Now, Henry Blodgett says it's not clear what, if any, power and influence he currently wields, but his main message that Wall Street won the financial crisis, that inequality in this country is hitting record levels, and that there appears to be no other way to stop the trend. I mean, Blodgett thinks this is going to resonate with a lot of people. And he includes a transcript here of Lerner's full reported remarks. Among the remarks that Lerner gave at Pace University, unions are almost dead. We can't survive doing what we do. But the simple fact of the matter is community organizations are almost dead too. And if you don't think about what we need to do, it may give us some direction. Or if you think about what we need to do, it may give you some direction, which is essentially what the folks that are in charge, the big banks and everything, what they want is stability. So we have to destabilize these people that are in power, and we have to start to rebuild a movement. For example, 10% of homeowners are underwater right now. Their home they are paying for. They're paying more than it's worth. 10% of those people are in strategic default, meaning they're refusing to pay, but they're staying in their house. Totally spontaneous. They figured out it takes a year to kick them out of their house because the foreclosure rate is backed up. Now, if you could double that number, you could put banks at the edge of insolvency again. He says students have $1 trillion debt. We have an entire economy built on debt and banks. So the question would be, what would happen if we organized homeowners en masse to do a mortgage strike? If we get 500,000 people to agree, it would literally cause a new financial crisis for the banks, not for us. We'd be doing quite well. We wouldn't be paying anything. We have to think much more creatively. The key thing, what does the other side fear the most? They fear disruption. They fear uncertainty. Every article about Europe says they rioted in Greece, the markets went down. The folks that control this country care about one thing, how the stock market goes. Well, what if the bond market goes down, or how the bonuses go? Well, we have a very simple strategy. How do we bring down the stock market? How do we bring down their bonuses? How do we interfere with their ability to be rich? I don't want to give any details, because I don't know if there are any police agents in the room here where I'm speaking, he said. But the goal would be to roll out of New York the first week of May. We'll connect 3 ideas: that we are not broke, that there is plenty of money. They have it, and we need to get it back. And that they are using Bloomberg and other people in government as the vehicle to try and destroy us, the middle class. So we need to take on those folks at the same time. And we'll start here. We're going to look at a week of civil disobedience, direct action all over New York. There's going to be a 10-state mobilization to try and shut down the meeting of the J.P. Morgan shareholders. And then we're going to look at bank shareholder meetings around the country and try and create some moments like Madison, Wisconsin, except where we are on offense instead of defense. We hope to inspire much bigger movement about redistributing wealth and power in this country, and that labor can't do itself. The community groups can't do themselves. But maybe we can work something new and different that can be brave enough and daring and nimble enough to do that kind of thing. Now, is this not a form of terrorism that the guy is preaching? Where's Eric Holder? Where is Big Sis? Where is Janet Napolitano on all this? Now, the point about this, as far as I'm concerned, is not whether or not this guy is going to succeed. But if you believe he's being honest about what he believes, and I do, it's a fascinating look into the mindset of the kook extremist left in this country, who are treated sympathetically by the media. Their causes are all just. And the notion that capitalism is unfair and that their money has been stolen from them and that the country is unjust and they need to, economically hobble it. And these are people. This guy's former SEIU. These are union people, and we've discussed the public sector union people. We are messing with their bread and butter. They have their hands in the treasuries of all states in which they operate and the U.S. Treasury. They have their hands. That's how they live. Now, we're broke, and the states are broke for a multitude of reasons. What they're being paid is among them. I got a couple sound bites. Let me take a break here. I got a couple sound bites from Chris Christie that relate to this that we'll get to if we have time. We come back. If not, certainly the next segment. Sit